Amen. Vatera Sarai ben Agar Hamitzrit Asher Yodel Abraham Mitzachek. And Sarah saw the son of Agar, the Egyptian, who was born to Abraham, and he was Mitzachek. It's a tough word to translate. It comes from the same root as the name Isaac. Somehow Ishmael was laughing. Some say he may have been teasing or mocking with Isaac. That is something that brothers will do. But Sarah saw it. Vatera Sarah, and it's also a homophone, for she became afraid. Perhaps related to what she saw, perhaps unrelated to what she saw. She was protective of her boy, Isaac, and thought that Ishmael might be a threat to him. So her world turned upside down in her fear. Suddenly Ishmael wasn't Ishmael, the son of her husband. He was an interloper, the son of that servant Hagar. And they were no longer members of her family. They were just those Egyptians, known by their nationality, because fear turned to hate. Vatomer le'Avraham karesh hamazot vet benah, ki lo yirash ben hamazot im beni im Yitzchak. Sarah said to Abraham, banish this servant and her son, for the son of a servant will never inherit, not with my son, not with my Isaac. Vayeva hadavar me'od b'nei Avraham al odot beno. And the thing seemed bad and very harmful in the eyes of Abraham on account of his son. Obviously, it's bad on account of his son Ishmael. Ishmael is being banished, the one who is oppressed, the one who is shunted aside and sent away. This is the one who suffers. But also, on account of his son, this is not good for Isaac to have the kind of privilege that sees other people banished, marginalized and sidelined and oppressed. This is the conversation we now have about race. Racism is awful for people of color, but it's also toxic for white people too. As soon as you pit people against one another and you don't think of one another as kin anymore, then you know the system is broken. Vayomer Elohim el Ram, al Yeram einecha al anar ve'lamatecha. And God spoke to Abraham, saying, don't let this seem too terrible, too awful and evil in your eyes on account of the boy and the servant. God knows Hagar and Ishmael will be fine. God is sending protection, an angel for the two of them. Ishmael will become a great nation. Now it's painful, but their ending will be triumphant. Kol asher tomar elecha Sarah shema b'kola. But everything that Sarah says, listen to her voice. Listen to her voice. Although the content may be wrong, hear the anguish, hear her pain. She's witnessed something terribly disturbing. She's very fearful for her child. Have compassion on Sarah too. Listen to her voice. Go beyond the narrative. Love her enough to hear what's under her words. Listen to her soul. Don't consider her arrival. And so we can learn when we disagree, when we think people are wrong. when we're pitted against one another, it's time to listen and love. Even if you can't swallow their content, listen to their voice. Try to find common ground and remember you are kin. Ki v'Yitzchak yikare lecha Sarah. Because together Sarah and Abraham have created a legacy. In the end they're united. They will find one another again. So may it be with all of us that we will find one another and overcome the barriers. Kith and kin, loving and listening, drawing together as the family of humanity.